Hello, everybody out there in Disc Golf Land. I'm your host, Martin Stack, and welcome to another edition of Disc Golf Daily's Tournament Primer. In the next 5 minutes, we're going to cover everything you need to know about the upcoming 4-day Elite Series Plus event, which runs September 5th through the 8th. For this episode, players head to Milford, Michigan, where Nate Heinold will run the 2024 Discraft Great Lakes Open. If his name seems familiar, it's because Nate also was the TD for this year's PDGA Champions Cup, Ledgestone Open, and World Championship. But that's what he's done for the Disc Golf Pro Tour. In addition, this year, Nate also served as TD for the Amateur Championship, 4 A-tier events, 2 B-tier events, and 28 C-tier events. Additional details can be found on the PDGA website. Defending champions. On the FPO side, Owen Scoggins shot 25 under in a 1,000 rated performance that earned her $10,000. And on the MPO side, Simon Lizotte shot 30 under in a 1059 rated effort that earned him $15,000. Player and purse growth. Player participation for this year's event projects a 45% increase over last year from 107 to 155. The numbers aren't in yet for this year's projected payout, but with the increase in player participation and last year's pro purse of $100,000, this year's purse should be closer to $120,000. Weather forecast. The weather forecast for Thursday is mostly sunny at 84 degrees with wind moving south-southwest at 11 miles per hour. Friday shows a 55% chance of showers, while Saturday and Sunday turns a little chilly with partly cloudy skies and highs in the low mid to mid 60s. The competition. On the FPO side, the feature card for day one has Discraft's Missy Gannon, Latitude 64's Kristen Tatar, Innova's Owen Scoggins, and Discraft's Holland Handley. On the MPO side, day one's feature card has Prodigy's Isaac Robinson, MVP's Simon Lizotte, Discraft's Paul Macbeth, and fellow teammate Anthony Barella. The finishing holes. With the toboggan course challenging players with the most consistent and stark elevation changes on tour, it also has one of the toughest finishing holes on tour, with hole 18 averaging more than half a stroke over par. Lead players will need to maintain their focus when heading into the vital 4 holes. The 960-foot par 4 hole 15 is the second toughest hole on the course, averaging .25 over par. There is no OB, but hole 15 has an elevation change of 51 feet from tee to green through a narrow, slightly wooded winding fairway. With only 10% of the field scoring birdies last year, guardian trees in Circle 2 make it difficult to make Circle 1 in regulation. At an elevation 18 feet above the green, the 396-foot par 3 hole 16 is the third toughest hole on the course and has players teeing off OB to an island landing zone and green. Players landing in C1 have an open look at the basket, whereas C2 has guardian trees to contend with. Last year, Simon Lizotte famously opted to go OB long for a 10-foot putt for par. The 840-foot par 4 hole 17 has players teeing off at an elevation of 23 feet above a dogleg left open fairway. Approach shots from the fairway will need to climb 26 feet and contend with a tightly wooded green. The 645-foot par 4 hole 18 was the toughest hole on the course last year, with 45% of the field scoring bogey or worse. Players tee off to a 52-foot elevated, lightly wooded dogleg right fairway to a wooded green. Where and when to watch. The Disc Golf Network will be providing live coverage of the event starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern for FPO and 3 p.m. Eastern for MPO. If you can't watch it live, Joe Mez Pro will be providing next-day post-round coverage. And if you can't watch, remember Disc Golf Daily's Monday Tournament Recap will have you covered. That's it for this episode. Stay tuned for our next episode when we head northeast to Smuggler's Notch, Vermont for our DGPT playoff event at Discraft's Green Mountain Challenge. Until then, I'm Martin Stack with Disc Golf Daily, asking you to smash that like button and subscribe. And have a great round.